I remember me and this girl, we ended up going to the tennis court, and well, one thing led to another, and I guess me and her decided to do the Devil's Tango right beside the net of the tennis court. Like, what? Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane, but I gotta say, really embarrassing story. Now, this story all takes place back in the summer of my grade 10 going into grade 11 year. Now, my grade 10 year, the only thing I was really good at was doing the Devil's Tango. But another thing I was really good at was playing video games. Obviously, since it was the summer of, though, I wasn't really doing much. I was mostly hanging out at home playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2, and I guess playing other games that I really liked. Until I remember one time, I ended up having a friend come over that I didn't see for a while after my grade 10 year ended, and me and him, we ended up hanging out together in my bedroom. And I remember me and him were talking about plans that we were planning on doing in the summer. And then that's when he brought up, yo, Bubba, I don't know if you know, bro, but I'm working at this country club, and bro, there's a lot of good women there, bro. Like, trust me, you should go to this country club with me and apply for a job there. At that moment, I looked at him and I'm like, like, I don't really feel like I should apply for a job in the summer. Like, I want to actually enjoy my summer and go out and do stuff. Yeah, but think about it, bro. Like, you get to work at a country club, make money, and meet girls. At that moment, I'm not gonna lie to you, he sounded really convincing, and I ended up going on my computer that day and I applied for the job. When I went upstairs, I ended up talking to my buddy about how, you know, it would be really awesome to work together, and that's when my mom ended up interrupting after hearing me saying something about a job. And that's when my mom looks at me and says, wait, Bubba, you got a job? Well, I didn't get it yet, but I'm planning on getting a job. At this moment, my mom was really excited. I remember she was actually like clapping for me and she was like, this is very good. Like, I thought you were just gonna be in your room all summer. And I'm not gonna lie, my friend kind of ended up laughing, but at the same time, it made sense. I'm not gonna lie, in the summertime, it would be smart to get, like, you know, find ways to make money and get into new hobbies. So I remember as a week went on, I remember my friend kept texting me every single day since that day if I got the job or not. And then that's when one day I remember as I was sitting down playing Black Ops 2 in a team deathmatch, I ended up getting a text message. I got a text message from the country club company wanting me to come in for an interview. And that's when I was really excited. I remember I ended up basically telling my parents, they were all happy for me. And the next day when I went to the country club for my interview, let's just say things were pretty interesting. Because I remember I ended up showing up in a black collared shirt and I ended up walking in there looking really nice. I wanted to look somewhat professional because, well, it's a country club. Obviously, they would want professionalism in their own club. And I remember I ended up going to the offices and, well, one thing led to another. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just gonna get straight to the point here. I got the job. And the only reason I actually got the job was because I was referred. So it was kind of a win-win scenario. Going on with the story, I remember my first shift working at this country club was actually pretty neat. Me and my buddy, we ended up going around. We got free food that was from the cafeteria there. And also, this country club was really nice. Obviously, there was a lot of old people there that were hanging out for the summer, but a lot of these old people would like to bring their granddaughters and grandchildren, and a lot of them were me and my buddy's age. Some a little bit older, obviously, but I mean, I wasn't complaining. And as things were going super great in the country club, I'm not gonna lie to you, a week later, I started hating it. Because yeah, I was meeting a lot of different people and stuff, but like I said earlier, it was a lot of old people. And the only times I would actually like get to talk to girls was during my break. Until one day a week later, I remember I was in the golf course picking up balls that were, you know, lost, and I was picking them up and putting them in this golf cart. And as I was driving the golf cart around, I ended up seeing a girl that looked really, really hot. Like, no joke, she was a 10 out of 10, super attractive. Obviously, she looked a little bit older than me, but I wasn't really complaining. I remember I was driving by and I kept staring at her because, well, I don't know, I guess I was the hornball I was back when I was in high school. And then that's when it ended up happening where I accidentally stepped on the brake too hard and I ended up hitting my head on the steering wheel. I remember this lady looks at me and she runs up to me saying, hey, like, I just saw you hit yourself. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. I just sometimes realize these brakes are more sensitive than they actually are. Oh, yeah, no, it's totally fine. My dad owns a golf cart. I completely understand. Oh, is your dad in the country club? Oh, no, he's right now in Dubai. I'm just here with my grandparents. I'm gonna be here for only a couple days though. Oh, that makes sense. You play golf? No, I actually play tennis. I'm just playing golf with my grandpa right now. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Yeah, but are you new here? Cause like every year when I come down here, I've never seen you before. Oh, no, I'm just a summer hire. Oh, okay. That's neat. Do you play any sports? And that's when I realized that if I was gonna see this girl again, I was gonna have to say something that was a total lie. And I ended up telling her, oh, well, I don't know. I heard you play tennis and I'm not gonna lie, I do as well. Oh, wait, seriously? You play tennis? Yeah, I've been playing tennis for years. At this moment, I'm not gonna lie to you, I haven't even never touched a tennis racket in my entire life. life. So I was totally bluffing the entire time we were speaking, other than me being hired for the summer. But anyways, one thing led to another, and she finally ended up asking me, you know what? Here, take down my number. We should play tennis sometime. Are you free maybe tomorrow? Yeah, I'll be free tomorrow. My break's after 2:30 if that's cool. Oh yeah, that's perfect. We can play in the afternoon. Okay, cool. And that's when me and her, we ended up exchanging numbers, and I ended up getting back in my golf cart and driving over back to my buddy that I was working with. When I got to him, I remember he looks at me and he's like, yo, Bubba, I saw you talking to that girl, bro. Did you actually pull her? Yeah, I mean, I'm playing tennis with her tomorrow. Hey, let's go, man. What time are you playing tennis with her? Oh, like around 2:30? Wait, what? You're playing during work hours? Bubba, don't do that, bro. Do it later. Do it like when no one's around so you can actually like, you know, riz her up. I don't know if that's a good idea. No, trust me, bro. No one's at the tennis court super late at night. Just do it, bro. Trust me. At that moment, I remember me and this girl started texting after, you know, she told me that it was wonderful meeting me. And that's when I texted her that I would actually only be available to play tennis with her in the late night hours, or after hours, I should say. I remember she was totally cool with that. And the next day was when things were really intense, because I remember my whole shift, I ended up kept running into her out of nowhere. It felt like she was actually following me, funny enough. And finally, when it was after hours and I finished my shift, I ended up going into my break room, taking out my shorts and t-shirt, and I ended up grabbing a tennis racket that people were able to rent out at the country club, and I headed over to the tennis courts. When I got there, I ended up seeing her there practicing with herself. Not in the weird way, by the way, practicing tennis. And I remember I walked in there and she looked at me and she's like, here, let's play. I remember me and her, we ended up, you know, playing tennis, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said before, I've never played tennis before this day. So she clearly knew that I was totally lying about playing tennis. And it got to the point where she stopped midway through a game and she's like, Bubba, have you actually played tennis before? At that moment, I ended up telling her the truth and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I only said that so that I get to hang out with you and see you again, because I'm not gonna lie, like, I couldn't lay my eyes off you the other day. And that's when she ended up getting up close to me and she started making out with me. And well, and let's just say one thing led to another and we ended up doing the Devil's Tango right beside the net in the tennis court of the country club that I was working at. Obviously, it was a really great time. I'm not gonna lie to you, but what ended up happening next actually really sucked, because I remember after everything happened, the next day, I ended up going to work and I put on my uniform, and right as I walked through the door, I ended up seeing my manager looking at me. He looks at me and says, hey, Bubba, can I speak to you for a minute? Yeah, sure, is what I told him. And me and him, we ended up going into his office. When we went inside his office, I remember he ended up turning his screen monitor around and he legit showed me security cam footage of me and this girl doing the Devil's Tango at the tennis courts in the country club. Yeah, let's just say I got fired after that, but at the same time, I mean, hey, I still had her number, and me and her, we ended up meeting the year after and the year after, and funny enough, still to this day, I sometimes do see her. Maybe one day I'll bring her on stream, but other than that, fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.